All right, so welcome you guys. We are so excited to have you here. My name is Ricky James, and I am going to be one of your hosts this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. So I am here sharing with five different incredible practitioners in different fields. They are going to be sharing with us their personal stories with Super Patch, a lot of what they're using in their clinic, some of their stories. So we are really excited to introduce some of these people. I'm going to be hosting with my friend Terry, and he is my awesome Canadian friend. He's actually been with the company and has known Jay for, gosh, a decade. Is that about it, Terry? You guys have known each other?
Yeah, since 2008, I was my first meeting with Jay. So yeah, been a while, been a while for sure.
That is incredible. I love that. So I've only been with the company for 10 months, but I love everything I've seen. We have had explosive growth in sharing with so many people. Our testimonies that we've seen are nothing short of life changing. And I am a mom of eight and a holistic practitioner as well, but I have only have very few clients right now because most of my time is taken up actually with Super Patch and helping launch this here in the States. And let's see, here we go. Terry, I'm going to pin you up here so that we can see you. I would love for you to introduce our next guest. Well, there we go. Yeah, you're pinned now.
Well, it would be my honor. I'm going to ask Dr. Sylvia Passfield to unmute, or you may have to ask her.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah, are you there, Dr. Sill? Great.
Hi. Yes,
You're there.
yes,
This
I
is a
am.
great honor for me. I've known Dr. Sylvia Passfield for a long, long time. Met her through my beautiful dear sister, and Dr. Sill has been the first person that we enrolled in this company. And she's the first practitioner in this company, and that goes way, way back to 2016 at the original company. And then, of course, the company was relaunched again in January of 2023. So, Dr. Sylvia Patsfield has a phenomenal clinic in Burlington, Ontario, here in Canada, and she is a complementary and advanced medicine doctor, quantitative electroencephalography practitioner, a frequency matrix therapy specialist with bioenergy medicine, and certified immunopeptide therapist specialist. And sometimes she just says, just pick and choose whatever you want to say about me. Basically, I'm a preventative and regenerative medicine practitioner. So it's just with great honor to introduce my dear friend and first practitioner in this company, Dr. Sylvia Passfield. Dr. Sill?
Thank you so much for the invitation, and thank you so much the introduction, Terry. It was great. Yes, I mean we have a history back almost more than 10 coming up 10 years
Mhm.
since when we are working together, and it's an honor to be in this call with everyone. Yes, I'm the first practitioner, and in the beginning it wasn't easy. I mean, like so many people lately told me that, yeah, just because you were the first one is like it was easy for you. I'm like, yeah. I was like, let me tell you stories. And like Terry and a couple of the other guys knows very well how many times I went back to the office crying because what was obvious for me and understandable for me with the technology, um, for other colleagues, especially in Canada, it wasn't. So I was so excited that, okay, like I understand, and like this is what we're doing, and this is what's happening, and I can not just talking about it, but I can prove it too. And pretty much they called me the same names and the same titles as they did to Jay. So, having said that, that was at the beginning. However, I did not give up anything. And because I love what I'm doing and I love the technology, I love the company, and I love my field as well. So when we entered into like into the patches right from the beginning, I was most of the time the first one who's got the prototypes to test it. And we are talking about different testing. We are talking about dry urine test, blood works. We are talking about QEEG, any other words, brain mapping, not just to testing, but even to be able to show to the field that, yes, this is what's happening. What you don't necessarily feel and see, but this is what's happening. And that was, I think, I mean, Terry can say it, but it was always a huge positive field, positive setback from the field that, yes, like, thank you, because finally we were understand a little bit more inside that what's happening inside the body with the tech, with the text on. So me being me, having a cutting edge technology clinic in Burlington in Canada, um, I'm using the patches religiously. The reason why, because the modalities and the equipment, what I brought in, so many of them the first and so far the last in Canada. So, and with these modalities, every single patches completely can I pair up with the modalities and for different symptoms, different conditions. So like, you know, like, for example, I don't know if I'm gonna say neurofeedback. Like, I don't know if it said something to someone. I'm using a triple neurofeedback device for mostly for example, different anxious or sadness conditions, which means that so many times the symptoms are caused by different conditions. Having said that, even to put these individuals into these devices so many times is a little bit challenging. Never mind when we're talking about kids. So this is when the patch is coming on as my complementary additions into the therapy, because as soon as I put, for example, just a peace patch on, I just have to wait 3 or 4 minutes and they're calming down, means that there is no issues to closing the equipments and using them. Almost like so it other than modalities like using with the different modalities with the different equipments, I'm not just using them at the treatment. I'm using the patches as, let's say, almost like prescription between treatments, because I can do so many things. However, I need to keep that impact longer as much as possible to the body, and these are the patches. Now, to other things, what I usually so many other people ask me, like, yeah, but what else are you using it for? It's like, well, I have to tell you that I'm using it as an emergency or first aid kit. And why? The reason why, because there was a couple stories where, for example, clients was coming in and all of a sudden, like autonomic anxiety attack happened with him. And like, it's just like, I don't know why, I don't know why, I don't know why. I know that I'm just talking to you, but it is happening. I'm like, okay. All right. So this is when I'm using for the emergency kit, like as an emergency kit or first aid kit, that you don't necessarily has to use the liberty and wait a couple of minutes and do the whole entire protocols. I just literally needed to calm him down, including the heart rate. So this is the emergency kit. Now, having said that, I used to say that like I'm using this one as a first aid kit too. The reason why, because even I had to learn because one day I was driving home and there was an accident, not to like it just almost right in front of me. And when I get out from the car, everybody was okay, but there was a mom and a young kid. And the young kid, because of the trauma and the shock, like it's like nobody could talk to him, nobody could touch him, nobody like literally it was like in a freeze mode. Like, okay, hi. It's like anybody who knows me with kids, like they used to say, it's like, you have a magic touch. It's like, okay, even the paramedics, like they try to talk to the kid. They like, just try to assess that if he has any injuries or something. And the kid was freaking out. Like, hold on. Like, hi, um, can I give you a sticker?
Mm.
Yes. What sticker? So that was the peace patch. And then we could assess him that there is no physical body injuries, nothing else. Like it took for a couple of minutes. However, that story and that when it's happened, it's taught me that, you know what? You never really know when we never know when we're gonna run into different situations in life. And I put together a first aid kit which is in my purse with me all the time and in the clinic as well. And the first aid kit is the Liberty, Victory, Freedom, Peace, and Kick It. Now, a couple of people working with me and they look at me as like, kick it. Why the kick it? It's like, well, the kick it because there was another situation where one kid came in who had aneurysm. From the aneurysm, high performance ADHD, and like you could not, like even like autistic spectrum, everything else, you could not even put socks or anything on that kid. Never mind, try to treat it. Even we tried the peas, we tried so many things. Nope. So this is when I was like, okay, I was like, how about if we will try the piece and the kick it? The reason why, because I know which brain parts are being activated with or stimulated with the different patches. Not even 5 minutes, you could talk to the kid and we could treat him. Then the other thing, even like why I'm using it, because I was questioned so many times that like, so yeah, you're giving it us, but are you using them? It's like usually this is when I pull up my pants, like, yep.
Well, it's a good thing you're pulling them up.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, the reason why, well, because that's the easiest way, like, to show it. The reason why, because not too many people knows that I'm a Lyme survivor, and which just means autoimmune. I was in the coma, and after so many years, like the different autoimmune flare-ups and different other symptoms happened. Now, to working in the clinic, like 10, 12 hours a day, like constantly running. I mean, Terry and some of the other ones knows, like literally constantly running between 9 rooms is not easy. Or it wasn't easy before the patches. Plus, I had a couple car accident, so like it was before the technology came up, it was challenging. Having said that, to be able to go through the whole day, I was like, yeah, I'm using more than a few of them, and there is a reason why. But when even I show on myself that like, well, yeah, listen, it's like there is a reason why I'm using it. It's like I'm not just telling you to use it and wear it. I'm doing it too. And my two go-to, like personally, it's the defense and the boost. Um, and so many times they ask from me, it's like, boost you? I'm like, yes. The reason why, because like as I told you, so many, like told you guys, so many things happened, and a year ago I had a major surgery, and after being under anesthesia almost 4 hours, when I came back to work, like, hey, hi. I can't remember. I cannot concentrate. I cannot multitask. I cannot do the same thing what I used to. And like, yes, I'm okay. Like with like pain free. My immune system is fine, but I need to be on a high performance state all the time. I
Mhm.
cannot tell my clients that, oh, well, hold on for a second, I will have to go and I will check on my computer. I cannot do that. So when the boost came along, for me, that was another blessing. The reason why, because even if I'm driving, like for me, it doesn't give that energy boost what so many people are talking about. For me, is that calm, focused constantly. And plus the energy, there is not a burst like I did not have that burst that after like a, for example, like a energy drink, but I can go through without being tired and exhausted like after 10, 12 hours or even long drives as well.
So, Sil, suffice to say that you recommend these patches almost like a prescription, you said, to some of your patients.
Yes.
Um, after treating them into uptake. And in your professional opinion, these patches, you do a lot of different modalities at your clinic, from hyperbaric chamber to core strength to you name it. And you totally feel that these products that you share, not only that you wear by pulling your pants up when you show people, which was very funny, by the way. But you're recommending these because the body's able to uptake the treatments faster and better that you're doing with this technology. Just to close it off here, because we've got four
Yep.
other practitioners we need to hear from here. So would you say that one of the reasons you do that is to help people uptake the modalities that you're delivering at this time?
Yeah, absolutely. And the other reason, because it keeps like it keeps the treatments basically between them. So many times some people said that, no, I don't feel anything. It's like, okay, then don't use it. Then they're coming back usually like a few weeks later that I don't feel good.
Yeah. Well, I think that, we all know, and you've been in it long enough, that this is a process, not a pill.
Yes, exactly.
And we have to
Exactly.
allow our bodies to feel their best through optimizing our neurology into the state of homeostasis. And so it's great that that you're here. It's so amazing that you continue to talk to your patients and your friends, and you're using them personally. You look fantastic. It looks like you got new glasses, I think. But but you look fantastic, and
Thank you.
very, very grateful to have you on the call. And thank you for sharing some time with us today, Dr. Sill. And we'll have you on again as we plan on doing these, if we can, at least once a month.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Thank
sharing.
you, everyone. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome.
Great. Well, I'm Carolyn. Got to let us know if you found Pamela.
Rick, she's on the call, but I don't see her name up. I just messaged her, so I'm
Okay.
thinking it's under her iPhone number.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So do you want to, either you, Caroline, or hey, Terry, want to introduce
Mhm.
Vicky and we'll keep searching for Pamela? We didn't think about that when we muted everyone, but that's all right.
Sure. Let me just find Vicky here, and I can unmute her. I know there she is. I can ask. There she is. Vicky, I just sent you, I asked you to unmute. There you are. Hello, Vicky.
Hello.
How are you? Great to see you.
Happy to be here.
So, quickly, I know that Vicky has a very extensive bio. So I'm going to just quickly go through it because she's got a very extensive background. And I spent a little bit of time with Vicky out west, and she's an incredible person and is a huge advocate for this technology and what it does. And Vicky specializes in behavioral neuroscience. Dr. Vicky Smith completed her Bachelor of Science, Masters of Science, and doctoral degrees in psychology at the University of Calgary. Her graduate was focused on circadian rhythms in the neurobiology of rotating, shift work, and jet lag. She has served as a lab manager and a researcher in the field of circadian rhythms at the University of Calgary, as well as held a nutrition and research associate position in a large animal nutrition practice working with horses and cattle, and a managerial role at a rural family medicine practice in Didsbury, Alberta. Dr. Smith is currently a clinical research coordinator with the spine program at the University of Calgary, with the goal of combining her research skills and her interest in chronic pain, health management, adult spinal deformity, and surgical outcomes. Additionally, Dr. Smith is taught at multiple universities in southern and central Alberta in the fields of psychology and behavioral neuroscience, and she currently holds a part-time lecturer position at Mount Royal University. Outside of her numerous academic and research commitments, she is also the science advisor at Balance Psychology and Brain Health, as well as a budding entrepreneur growing two businesses, one in marketing and education in the financial industry, and one as an independent associate and practitioner with none other than the Super Patch Company. Welcome, Vicky. Great to have you here. Tell us a little
Thank
bit
you
about
so
your
much.
story.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit unique compared to most of the other practitioners because I don't have my own actual clinic where I'm seeing patients and necessarily recommending it directly through my own practice because I am more on the teaching and the clinical kind of side of things. But my background does very much lend towards helping a little bit understand kind of more the technical side of what's going on and the theoretical side of what's underpinning kind of how these technology work. So just as a quick kind of background of how I ended up here first, I was actually introduced to the vibrotactile technology prior to it being Super Patch. So in 2018, I was actually about a year out from starting my treatments for breast cancer. And I was definitely suffering with a lot of different types of symptoms. A lot of them were kind of the expected ones. I had to have some pretty impressive types of treatments because it was very aggressive and very hard to treat. So I ended up with a lot of neuropathy. So that was the first thing that really kind of flagged a friend that she had heard about this technology and thought, maybe it can help. I know everyone says that they're very skeptical, but being a neuroscientist, that was off the charts for me. And I figured there's absolutely no possible way that this technology could do a darn thing for me. And medicine couldn't seem to do anything. So I definitely didn't expect a weird pattern on my skin to be able to do very much. But I gave it a try because I am a researcher. So I'm always willing to at least try something out and see what it can do. And so I did try it, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So the way that I share this technology is mostly starting with my personal story, because literally I went from feeling like I was walking on hot coals. Every single step was excruciating. I could barely hold a pen, so it was really hard to do my job. And then I put this technology on, and magically I had zero pain, zero tingling in my feet. There was even a color change in my palms and the soles of my feet. So I personally never go a single day without my technology. So that
Okay.
the same as Sylvia can
Yeah.
kind of pull up
Thank
her
you. Thank you. Bye.
pants and show people that she's wearing the technology. I can
Microphone
most
is
definitely
off.
do the same thing. I'm wearing multiple versions of the tech for different reasons. Following my whole cancer journey, I then also ended up having to have spine surgery and got to the point where the surgeon, once he finished the surgery, he literally asked me afterwards, I don't even know how you were standing or walking. Like it made no sense that I was still functional and I was still going to work and going about my normal day. I was in pain, but the technology didn't obviously heal anything or fix anything, but it made me functional. So I shouldn't have been nearly as functional as I was, and that's part of again how um, I can share through a personal journey, but then pairing that with having my background in terms of how it should be working in the nervous system. Sylvia then goes and tests it out and proves that it's all working that way. Mine's all the theoretical basis, but that definitely helps a lot of people that I talk to understand a little bit more and that it's not, it seems so odd that these patterns should be able to do what they do. But if you know the systems that they're targeting and how they're doing what they're doing in the nervous system, then that makes it a little bit easier. And I literally teach about these same concepts of how our nervous system takes in information, how it puts out information, what we're able to do in terms of being able to heal our nervous system. All those pieces are very clinical research academic pieces for my world. And so I share the technology both from my personal story, but then also from kind of the academic and the research side of it, that people are more willing to potentially at least give it a try because of the basis that I can kind of explain how it's supposed to be working and what it's supposed to do, even if they can't really feel that it's doing much at the time. So the ways that I have shared it in my many different roles are if I see students struggling in my classes at the universities, then I definitely approach them. A lot more of that is kind of the focus and the more cognitive side of things that I see them struggling, although some of them it is also immune system issues and um, aspects to do with pain and things like that as well. In the more clinical side of what I do right now, the research and clinical side, then I definitely, a lot of it surrounds pain because I am dealing with a lot of patients that have extreme chronic pain for decades with the development of spinal deformities. So trying to help them just ease some of that pain while they're waiting for surgery, while they're recovering from surgery. So it's a tool that can definitely be useful in that context. Not all of the surgeons really are fully on board with me yet, but I'll get them there. And then in other clinical aspects of how I've previously been working, where I was introduced to the technology originally, I was working running a medical clinic, just a small family practice for my sister. And I got her very much hooked on using all of the different patches too. So she was the first doctor that I actually had who really truly believed it because she saw the differences that it made for herself. And she would start then just telling her patients, okay, you need to go out to the front and talk to Vicky, and she'll get you set up with some things that'll kind of help ease some of those symptoms and kind of improve your quality of life. So a lot more of it is just me talking to people, not so much in an actual practice sort of a situation, but I still definitely am always sharing about the technology. I absolutely love how much of a difference it can make for so many people. And the biggest thing for me is instead of just having our original kind of one size fits all, it'll help with things. I love that we now have such a targeted way of being able to just pick and choose, pair different things to help with very specific symptom sets so that we can make the most impact for anyone that we're trying to help. And I think it's great having so many practitioners that are involved now because that allows everyone else in the field to really be able to kind of lean on the practitioner's advice and the credibility that comes with that for something that is so unknown. So it really makes a big difference. I think the more we're willing to kind of talk about our experiences and how we use the technology, then it's easier for the rest of the field to be able to kind of point to that and make more headway in their own circles using the technology as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Vicky. I think that it's so important that we hear from people like yourself, the professionals in the the healthcare profession, that have had personal experiences on our different patches. And as you said, we've advanced so much in such a short period of time. And, anything out there like we have takes time. And we're excited that you're still linked arms with us and you're still sharing and sharing your own story and how it's improved your quality of life. And we're grateful to have you here today, Vicky. So thank you so much for sharing. We appreciate
Thanks
you
for
very
having
much.
me.
Yeah.
Well, I see now. Um, I see the Healing Sanctuary. So I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Pam Smith, Dr. Pamela Smith, PhD, MD, ND. She is a renowned expert in bioenginetic restorative medicine with international training in Switzerland, Cambridge, and Prague, a pioneer in advanced therapies such as Undomid, I'm not sure, in plasma technology. She has worked with high profile clients, including the royal family of Abu Dhabi. That's pretty impressive. She has founded innovative initiatives such as aquatic care programs in Oaxaca, Mexico. She specializes in personalized treatments for chronic pain and adverse immunization effects, bringing her holistic health approach to a global audience. At the Healing Sanctuary Institute, Dr. Pamela Smith's approach is rooted in holistic vision of health, integrating advanced frequency therapies and cutting-edge technology with natural and personalized methods. She utilizes tools such as Ondamed, scalar and plasma energy treatments, lymphatic drainage, ozone therapies to comprehensively address the body's needs, alleviating pain, detoxifying, and restoring physical, mental, and emotional balance. Each treatment is carefully designed to meet the specific needs of every individual, prioritizing not only healing, but also long-term prevention and well-being. Her goal is to provide transformative care that revitalizes the body, nurtures the spirit, and promotes a full and healthy life. I am so happy to hear from you, Pamela. Let's,
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Can you hear me?
yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Well, to be honest, I just received my patches about a month ago, and I've been like so excited about them because, I'm already doing quantum medicine and I'm already way out of the box of the normal position. And that's why I moved to Mexico for freedom. And I know for a fact that I'm dealing with a lot of retirees who have absorption problems and with nutrients. So we need a new and better way to heal people. And I love the idea of rewriting the message in the brain. And I'll be honest with you, I've only had them a month, but I've had phenomenal results with my patients. And I've had 3 insomniacs, and no matter what I did, no matter what I gave them, it didn't work. They were still not sleeping. And I used the REM patch, and one patient hadn't slept in 20 years. Literally, they hadn't slept in 20 years. And I gave them the REM patch, and I said, put it on 30 minutes before you want to go to sleep. And it was, I don't know, we'll just see what happens. The next morning, he texted me, he said, Doc, that's the first time I've slept in 20 years. I love these patches. Can I come buy some more? And so with that happening, I thought, okay, now I'll try my next insomniac patient, which I have quite a few here in Mexico. And so we had the same exact results, positive. They slept. And then I had a patient from Chicago come in, and she's really high strung, doing all kinds of things in Chicago. And she said, I probably haven't slept in 10 years because I multitask, I have so many things to do. And I said, well, what do you have to lose? You know, you're down to sleeping medication now. Do you want sleeping medication or do you want to try something natural? Well, I want to try something natural, but I've never heard of these patches. And, I don't know anything about them. I said, look, I can't guarantee anything. I just got them. I'm testing them. And She called me the next morning from the hotel here, and she said she slept 12 hours for the first time. So I'll be honest with you, I'm super impressed with the REM patch. I had one other patient, his name's Chris France, and he took the patches back. He got all excited. He signed up, with Carolyn in the United States, and he got the patches. And so the first night, he said the patches gave him nightmares, and he called me, and I said, something highly unusual about that. I can't see how rewriting information would give you nightmares. It just doesn't make sense to me. And so Carolyn suggested that we put the peace patch with the REM patch. And now he's sleeping all night. And I'm just telling you, I'm super impressed with that working that quick, that consistent with the patients that I have, because most of the patients that fly here to me are extremely complicated and no one else could help them. They've been everywhere, done everything, and then they come here as a last resort. So, I have quite a few stories, even though I've only been using the patches 3 weeks. I've had super positive results. I had a patient who's 75, who had a hip replacement, has a leg length discrepancy of 1.5 inches, in constant pain and very unstable. So what we did is we put, of course, the Freedom Patch, and we put Liberty. And she walked into the clinic, the most stable I've ever seen her. And she said, Doc, I feel stable, like I'm not going to fall down. My equilibrium is not off. It's the first time. I mean, I'm just so happy, about that. And so, I don't know all the patches. I can't say that I've tried them all because I've only had them 3 weeks. But I have had a tremendous positive response with the patients that I did give it to, and I was super impressed. And I plan on incorporating them. I don't know the answers to exactly how I'm going to apply everything. I'm learning the patches. I'm trying to figure out, what's the best way and what's the best ones to give for the symptoms that my patients have. So I personally am using the patches, and I'm wearing them every day since that I got them. I had back surgery 50 days ago, and I had stage 4 bone cancer. And so I'm supposed to be dead right now, but of course I'm alive, and I'm learning to walk again. And I really feel the Liberty Patch has given me a lot of stability, a lot of confidence in walking. And I think it's accelerating my ability to recover. And I deal with all kinds of patients from all over the world. So I'm truly looking forward to the application of the patches in many, many different ways, because I'm looking at, combining things and adding things. But I'm truly, truly impressed with the product and the technology, and it goes along with the cutting edge stuff I'm already doing here. So I want to thank you for coming up with this technology and being able to apply this, because I think it's the way of the future for medicine.
Well, I
Yes.
have to ask you one last question. So, this is really fun for us to ask you at the beginning of this, too. Isn't this really cool that you don't have to worry about any liability, right? Or any contraindications, that you're able to just freely offer these to people in combination with whatever you're using right now and not worry about it harming, right? Like, I think that's so incredible. And after hearing all that you're doing there, it's amazing and incredible. But right, I mean, you have to let me know how that feels for you as a practitioner in that position.
Well, it follows everything I'm looking for. I'm looking for medical freedom. So this gives me medical freedom, and I'm very careful. I don't tell the patient this is going to cure anything. And I also tell the patient, you can't expect it to work uh, the first time you put the patch on. I mean, the longer you've had the problem, I believe the longer it's going to take to rewrite the message in the brain. So, I mean, some people, they're not going to get an instantaneous reaction. But so far, the patients that I've given it to, it's only in a month. I've had instant reactions, which really surprised me, honestly. But I'm here to tell you that's what happened, and it's the truth. And I just love incorporating this technology with what I do. It just goes together, you know, perfectly with what I'm doing.
I love that. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. I'm so excited by all of you guys sharing. I know we have Dina next. Are you wanting to introduce her, Terry?
Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm going to ask Dina to unmute. Um, you should be able to unmute Dina now. Should have got an invite to unmute.
Okay.
There she is.
Ah,
Well,
I
I had the
am.
good pleasure of meeting Dina in Orlando, and it was a pleasure to meet you there, Dina, at our event in Orlando. And I'll just tell you a little bit about Dina. She's a certified master sound healer and holistic wellness expert with extensive training in sound therapy, stress management, and advanced healing technology. Dina creates transformative experiences that restore balance, well-being, and inner peace. She's passionate about empowering individuals to take charge of their well-being through sound immersion, energy healing, and detoxing daily. Today, she's here to share her experience with Super Patch and all of us here, and how it seamlessly integrates into her lifestyle and healing practices. So, without further delay, it's my great pleasure to introduce Dina to our call, Dina Rahal. Welcome, Dina.
Thank you for having me, Terry, Carrie, and also Carolyn. I'm just so happy and grateful to be here today. I'm in my car because there's too much noise in the condo, and it just started when the Zoom called. So I hope you hear me well. I'm in
Yes, you do.
Stewart, Florida, and I am in the business of vibration, energy, and frequency. For me, it's a no-brainer. Carolyn showed up. I met her a few years ago. She experienced one of my sound healings. She showed up at the museum. She says, Dina, I have to introduce you to this technology. She says, I know you get it. I know you understand it. And at the time, I had just injured my thumb with the gong. I've had this 40-inch gong and I'm playing it, and it was really hurting me where it was bent and painful, and it wouldn't come back into a straight position. So, of course, Carolyn comes into my space and we sit down and we're spreading all the patches. And she says, well, let me put a pain patch. And she says, and freedom. And we're talking. And I said, Carolyn, oh my God, it's not even a minute. Look at my thumb. It's straight. It's straight. I go, oh my God. I said, sign me up right now. This is a no-brainer for me. It just can't make sense, because when I explain what sound healing does to people, it's very simple. We are vibrational being. Everything vibrates. Everything, has its own frequency. So vibro-tactile technology is my language. So again, no drugs, no herbs, very simple. Again, no drugs, no herbs. I'm all about detoxing, wellness, taking charge of your life. Here's the opportunity. Between treatments, between sound healing, your stress, darling, here's a peace patch. Oh, you can't focus? Well, here we go. We can focus. I have trouble sleeping. There we go. We've got the RAM. So on your way out, I have a display. I sell retail. I have the forms with all the details, so they get to have a sample. I like to offer samples. And at the same time, they have an opportunity to buy them right there and then. Then I tell them you can buy them on the website. They're 25% off on your first purchase. The whole sales, which makes sense as well. And then, of course, I've had friends and family join as associate because, again, they're in massage therapy, they're in acupuncture. You're already in the vibration tactile technology. It just makes sense. So I use it. I use every patch depending on how I feel in the morning. Stress still comes to me just because you're in the business of managing stress. It's one of the reasons you're in the business, is that you want to learn how to master your own emotions and stress. So I'll put the peace patch. Oh, of course, Liberty goes with it, right along with it. If I need to do my Instagrams, my Facebook, and all these things, well, we'll put a little focus patch. Lumi has been my best friend, people. I've been a bodybuilder all my life. I'm 61. I am not bodybuilding anymore. The skin is wrinkling. Well, Lumi has been my champion. Lumi, within 3 months, I've seen my wrinkles disappear, my skin softened. My friends have told me that their age spots are leaving. So when the feedback comes to you, you share that, and it just makes sense. And my sound healing practice is the number one. The second is the Steward Health and Healing, where we do body work. And then even I want to touch base with Celia and the people that have a lot of pain. A lot of the things in the body are toxicity that have accumulated. So we do body work that's not massage. And we cause tenderness. Well, guess what? You're leaving with a freedom, because in between it's going to alleviate some of the tenderness that we have created. So it just flows. You can tell, right? I'm dancing with the super patches. I'm just bringing them all in my space. I carry my bag everywhere I go. If I go to the dentist, here's a focus patch. I'm just sharing the information. I'm not forcing. It's coming to me. I just share the information, and then it's up to them to take charge, massive action, personal action to feel better. The bottom line. People come to me, I am a conduit of love and healing and frequency and energy and vibration. I am not the healer. Your body heals itself. So that's why I say when you put a patch on your arm, your mind reads the code like Braille, and voila. And some people don't have, some people, when you have to work with them, nothing will ever work. And that's it. But I don't focus on those people, right? You focus on the ones that are open and are willing. I mean, I bring mediumship, I bring workshops at the museum. I create this whole mindfulness, a package, and I bring other people. And we have a medium who her husband could not get out of bed in the morning. He's had an injury at work. He's on disability. And one day she just patched the REM and the freedom, I apologize. And he just got up, stood up straight, and she says, Dina, sign me up. If it makes my husband wake up and walk in the morning, here we are. So that's kind of where I am. It's only been 8 months. I really love the where did we go in Orlando? The lecture. You know why? I've got to tell you, people, Jay is not selling the business for 5 generations down. Does that mean a lot? These things that you listen to what Jay says really mean a lot. He is committed, determined to changing the health system. We have now Maha. I don't care what side you're looking at. It has nothing to do with politics. It's about taking back our health or wellness. And guess what? There's no drugs and there's no herbs. We can, we are a vibrational device. Isn't it wonderful? Here I am.
Well, Dina, that it is absolutely wonderful, and your enthusiasm is so infectious. It's
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
I mean, how could anybody not want to try it when you're the one that's presenting it? So we're so excited. I remember when Carolyn shared the story of your first experience with the patch and what happened with you. That is just mind-blowing. And ultimately, we're all creatures that are here to love. We're not here to hate. We're here to help people. And this is a great story. We're so grateful that you took time to be on this call today and share your experiences and share your enthusiasm. So that is very, very infectious. And I know I'm revved up just listening to you. So thank you for being here very much.
Thank you for having me. And if anybody's ever in Stuart, Florida, you want to experience sound healing and even look near your homes, it's really very different. It is live. I've got 22 crystal bowls, the gongs, and it's very magical. And it's effortless. People that can't meditate, that can't relax, that can't. Let me tell you, welcome. Come on in, take a seat. Within 10 minutes, you are downshifted. And if you still have a little issue, well, we're going to give you a little peace patch. I did a special one on election day. I was sold out. And at the end, I gave everybody a peace patch. I say, stay calm. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, So at that point, you learn to master yourself. And I am a walking billboard for Super Patch. So maybe next time when you have another not a workshop, but why I can't say the word in Orlando. What were we doing?
Conference.
A
Event.
conference. Instead of having your magician, you might have Dina, the magical magician of sound, vibration, and healing. How about that? And I can take you on the journey.
We know you
I
can.
love it. I love it. I'm all in. I'm all into all of that too, and I love it. So we would be good friends, Dina. I
Wonderful.
am I'm with you when you say absolutely Jay is infectious as well, and his passion and his love do come through to all of us because that is why we all do this. We are here to help humanity. That's what got us all in. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're so passionate because we are able to help people and impact people on a daily basis
You
with
got it.
no risk and no meds and right like it's amazing. And so thank you so much. What an honor to
Thank you, Ricky. Can I put a shout out so you can visit the website and learn about it? I've got a wonderful blog and I'll be virtual very soon around the world. So can I put out a shout just to my website?
yeah, go for it.
Soundvibration.net.
Soundvibration.net. Thank you,
That's it.
Dina. We
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
everybody. I appreciate
Thanks,
you too.
Dina.
Thank you, Carolyn.
So
Thank
our
you, Dina.
last practitioner tonight is one of my personal friends, and I love Phil and his wife so very much. I've known them a long time, and Phil Claybrick has been a family nurse practitioner for the past 8 years in the area of integrative health with a degree from Texas Tech. During his coursework for his nurse practitioner for the previous 13 years, he served as an RN with his bachelor in nursing and certifications in rehabilitation and emergency training, working in between multiple hospitals, primarily in emergency rooms and ICUs, but also working in various other holistic arenas. Phil has an amazing wife, Vanessa, and their four beautiful girls and loves to spend time with his family in church. Phil's passion in the medical world is to be preventative and not reactive, which fits perfectly in line with the goals of Super Patch. And I've been to Phil's clinic. It's beautiful. I'm actually searching for you, Phil. I'm looking for you, trying to find you. I know you're here. It's so hard with so many people. So I'm looking. If anybody, if you see him, it is Phil Claybrook. Terry, I'm searching at the top for him. There he is. There he is. Okay, asked to unmute.
Thanks, ma'am.
Yay, there you go. There you go.
So it was just it's really good. I love just listening to other practitioners and providers, and I was really, so much good stuff. I was really kind of geeking out on Dr. Smith's talk right there, and I saw there's like a 2023 presentation I'm about to watch that she did because that's I love to know the science behind how things work and just so I can explain it to our patients. I will tell you, we've been using my wife is like the better of the two of us, so I apologize for that. You got me today. But I will tell you that in our clinic, we use Super Patch all the time. And I think we've been using it for, I want to say 6 months. It might be longer. I could go through stories, and a lot of people went through the stories. I love the research because there's so much like good research behind it. I was just listening to one of Dr. Toker, who's one of the colorectal surgeons here in Texas, and she did a whole presentation on. She kind of talked how Jay kind of went through and looked at all these brain scans, and then it was really interesting to me because one of the things they did, or I guess he did, is after looking at so many brain scans and saying, hey, out of like these hundreds of brain scans, it could be thousands, but they all like the ones with blood pressure are like it signals right here, or the ones with anxiety, it seems like it signals right here in the brain. And then how these patches work, a lot of you guys said already. And I probably won't, it's just the science behind how the skin as a neurosensory organ can send messages to the brain. We already know that because, it's anytime if anyone stepped on a Lego, you know it really quick. And so, we use the patches honestly so much in our clinic that we don't give people packets anymore because we would lose them. So it's a lot of just giving them a few patches at a time for whatever they're going through, whatever they're dealing with to kind of support and help that. and then have them go to the website to order more. And it's interesting because I think it was um, let me see, I'm horrible. As somebody was talking about, I'm not a one and done person either, but it is interesting a lot of times when we'll use a patch. For example, there's a guy who had come into our clinic and he had definitely what we call anterior listhesis and he had bulging discs, and he was definitely, I mean, back and neck surgery are like the last things I want to send somebody for, but he was in a shape that it was like, I don't see a way out of this. And there probably is multiple modalities, but he had reached the point where it was great that he was able to, with his wife's help, even make it outside the house to our office. And he had been in so much pain. So we put the pain patch on him. I love when people are skeptical because it really makes me, I really get to see how well these patches work. So when he came in, he said, "Oh, it's not going to work." And I'd worked with him in the hospitals before. And I said, "Well, at least try it. We'll see. You're in pain, so nothing's worked so far." Literally 15 minutes, and he came and told me, I have not been out of pain like this in a long time. And so I thought, that's impressive. I, of course, don't hear that story every time, but I hear it more than often with a lot of the patches. There's multiple patients we have on like the Peace patch where I've seen them titrate off the medications they're currently using. We use multiple modalities, like a lot of the providers had talked about and different people have talked about in their clinics. So Super Patch makes a great addition, primarily because, and I think you mentioned it, Ricky, I'm not concerned whether you're the 6-month-old that's coming to clinic or you're the 98-year-old that's coming to clinic. I don't have any concern about polypharmacy, the mixing of, if they're on this or that this is going to have any bad interaction between all the other stuff they're using. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. A lot of times we can use the patches and I can see if I can work to kind of titrate them off of some of the things they're using, which is it's a huge benefit. Benefit so much that Ricky already knows this, but I've been invited by some of the doctors that I've worked with in the past to come present to their hospital tomorrow. And so I'm super excited because we're going to talk about possibly working with their rehabilitation portion of the hospital and see if we can't limit narcotics and improve stability. And so I'm just really excited. And I think it's just something that can really help people. And I think, as everybody said, the whole goal is, can we help people? And I mean, if you can help people and there's not a whole list of side effects, and you can really just help the body do what the body is meant to do. The Lord, as a Christian, I just like, Jesus is so good. The body is just like conditioned to just do what it can do. And sometimes it's just like using the patches are a great just messaging back to the system. And I know everyone's seen the balance test. And if you haven't, I thought everyone might have seen the balance test, but it's a great way just to see what the body can do. And you don't need 15 medicines on board to help it do it. So.
Oh, that is so amazing. And you're right. The whole reason that, again, I'll say it again, why we are loving this so much is because being able to so freely share all the time and have so many positive experiences. And it's really wild with you guys, Phil. I think what was so crazy is how quickly y'all have had, because you started sharing with just a couple of people in your office, and then you were like, whoa, y'all had these crazy results. And then you share, and then it was like wildfire. And what he was saying earlier is that, so used to, they would share the full packs in their office, and they couldn't even do that anymore because it was taking up too much of their time to get all the packs in and order. So they were like, no, you guys want them, we'll give you a few to last, but then you're gonna have to buy them yourself online because, right, like that's how much people need them. And y'all are in a small town and you've turned around and signed other practitioners. Like it's wild to me how quickly it's growing because it's just so needed. And we're always honored to hear from you and super excited about your meeting tomorrow. That is something that could be huge for this company as well, right? It's amazing that we have these that we have something that can be so widely used here. I find it fascinating that we had all variations of practitioners and experts on today, and they're all using them in their practices in many different ways. And so we really appreciate each of you for sharing. Anyone who has questions, or maybe who's even watching this recording, if you want to get back with the person that invited you and they can help you figure out how you can get your hands on some. If you have questions as a practitioner, same thing. You can get back with who invited you and you can be connected. There is a practitioners chat that's always kind of going on, both within social media and then also outside of, so we have a couple of different ones because a lot of these guys like to work with one another and share what's working so that, we can make the largest impact and they all kind of work together. So again, we're so grateful that you guys, Terry, do you have anything else to share before we end this?
Well, first of all, I'd just like to pass on my thanks to everybody for taking time out of your day to join us on this call. We are the pioneers in developing and sharing a drug-free, first ever vibro-tactile technology. And so grateful to all of you that are on this call. Ricky and Carolyn, we collaborated together to put this call together. We're going to do more on here. And so if you have practitioners that you know that have a story to tell and want to be on our call, we'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to myself, Ricky, or Carolyn Dow, and we'll be sure to set up another call. And this is all about sharing with the professionals what they know, what they have experienced with our technology, because they do it in a lot better way than I could do it. And we're not the technical side of it, but we certainly appreciate their knowledge and their expertise when it comes to the science side of it as well. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all so much. And just be aware and look forward to the next call that we put together.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.